Hello everybody, welcome back to the Fruin Driving Experience. Race 7 is in the books and it was a lucky one at that, but we were able to roll out with a second place finish. Happy about it? Absolutely. Did I earn it? Yep, sure did. So let's talk about it. All right, so we are racing counterclockwise short track, which means that there's this little it's almost like another one of these turns where you're coming in and you just gotta dive the thing in. And unfortunately, if you don't nail it right, like you could short it for sure. It'll just slow you down and bind you up a little bit. But if you go long on the turn, you end up in the grass. That was constantly in my mind, and I think that's what prevented me from being a little more aggressive than I normally would be, because I don't have the laps that everybody else has. I didn't have as much practice as I wanted, and it showed. So basically, the day was fast, the times were fast, but it did not feel fast. I don't know how to explain it. It's one of those things where the times show that you're fast, but you know that it's not a good lap. You know that you could do better, but you just can't get it. And it was kind of frustrating to figure it out. It was always on my mind. Like every time I come out of that turn, I was like, nope, could have done better. Could have done better every single time, and I just never could get comfortable in that turn. But we were able to maintain and pull out a second in the features. So how did that all happen? So in the pre-final, we started 5th. Not a great position. And for once, I actually have an odd number, so I'm starting on the inside, which is great. I can't complain about having an inside position. But 5th is not where we wanted to start, and it showed. Like I said, we were fast, but it just didn't feel right. And that 5th place start in the pre-final was an indication mentally of like, yo, you gotta figure this out, dude. Like, you've got to get something figured out if you're going to make any positions and have a good finish. So starting 5th, I was able to get the inside line on the heat, which stuck me into 4th, and Damien and Aaron were in front of me, and I was running a lower gear than everybody. And the reason, the thought behind it is that on the straights, you know, I would have enough distance and time that when my rev limiter kicks in, which means I'm at a higher RPM, I can either catch up or go around people. The problem is I didn't consider the fact that the main straight or the main long stretch is basically uphill the whole time. And I didn't consider that. So what happened was, by the time I was up to speed, by the time I was up to RPM, there was no room left. Where it benefited me at was no benefit at all, because we had to go into the first big turn, which is not an easy turn to go into. You definitely have to slow down. I have to put on the brakes a little bit. So the idea is there. My driving was not good enough for that setup, or it just doesn't work for that setup. Most likely it's the driving. I'm sure, you know, if Pierce were to try it, or somebody a little bit better were to try it, it'd work. But I don't have the laps, I don't have the consistency, I don't have the smoothness to make that happen. So started 5th, ended 4th, which means in the feature, I'm on the outside. Duh. So I knew I needed to bump up a gear because they were pulling away. Aaron and Damien were pulling away in a specific spot in the very long stretch. Yes, I was able to catch them, but that was it. I wasn't able to do anything else with it. So what I figured in my mind was, all right, I'm going to play the acceleration game with them. So I'm going to bump up a tooth. I'm going to at least maintain with them and have the same pickup speed and figure out where I can make a move based off of that. But at least it puts me with them to decide where to make a move and how to make a move, instead of playing catch up lap after lap after lap on that long straight, which was the only thing I banked on at that point. So did it help? Yes, absolutely. It was able to let me keep up with them. They did pull a little bit of ground on me, but nothing compared to what it was in the pre-final. But I could catch back up with them. I knew my strong points, knew my weak points, and where I could catch them, where I'd lose ground. So I knew where I had to pay attention. It's this big flow of operations that goes on in your mind when you're racing. And luckily, Lady Luck was on my side for that race. So in the final, Aaron got a dang good start off the line. And in the first turn, Aaron was first and I was second. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, yes, like, let's do this. Like, Aaron and I are going to be battling the whole race. And I know Aaron was excited to get in that first position, and I knew I was excited to get in that second position, because in my mind I'm like, dude, this is gonna be an awesome race between us. Like, we're gonna go back and forth. This is gonna be fun. And unfortunately, yellow flag got thrown, which restarted our positions. So it was unfortunate. But in this feature, you know, I don't have anything to say about it. It is between the racers. not my opinion. I wasn't there. I wasn't a part of it. I just got to observe it and see it. So I'm going to let it be as it is, but it was unfortunate that it happened. So basically, Damian and Aaron were going into a turn. Somebody bumped somebody somewhere, and Aaron spun almost to the point where it was kind of like me when I spun around, and I was like basically viewing the whole crew coming into that first turn is what I'm assuming how he ended up, but that's what it looked like his position was. He spun. Damian, from what I understand, didn't spin as much and was able to collect himself a little bit because he was behind me for the rest of the race on the rear camera. And I knew he was there if he was going to be there. So with that being said, I was able to bump up to second, and I knew, all right, let's focus on the guy in front. So the guy in front, unfortunately, I don't know your name, but he's been with us. He's been working his way up to the front, and it is really cool to see people advance like that. It is really cool to see people start, you know, towards the rear mid-pack, and throughout the season progressively working their way to get better. Like that is the fun in it. I can only imagine how much excitement he has from the finish of that race compared to where he was, you know, at the beginning of the year, because he got a first place finish. Like that's awesome. It's cool, and it's fun to see that. So, but I'd never raced against him before. The unfortunate part of it was by the time I got into second, he was so far in front that there really was nothing I could do besides just bank on the fact that maybe he made a mistake again. Interestingly enough, he didn't make a mistake. He's a good driver, did a good job. Interestingly enough, though, on the last lap, both of us ran into lap traffic. And what was really neat was I was coming around the corner, you know, just driving, doing my thing, and all of a sudden, I'm on his rear. I'm on the leader's rear on the very last lap, and I'm like, oh, hey there, bud. Like, well, what are we doing here? So it was really, that was like so close to my own opportunity to get around and find a spot to pass, but it just wasn't in the cards for me. But I was able to make it a fun finish for everybody, myself included. And, you know, if he watches the video, just know I was there. I was right there. But no, pulled out of second place. Very happy with it. Luck was extremely on our side. Like I said, I did not feel like that was one of our fastest days. I really didn't. But you know, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, I guess. And that's what it was. It was pure luck that day. The things that happened, and I was able to pull out a second. So yeah, so that's that. That's the end of it. I'm gonna let you guys view it. There's nothing really to show in the pre-final that was interesting to watch. I watched it, and it's just, you know, it's just racing. So I'm gonna let you see the final with the front camera and obviously the rear camera. Luckily, we got GPS on this one. Thank goodness. We have struggled with this so much, getting the GPS data. But this one came out, so you're going to get to see the track. You're going to see the RPMs. That's fun to see. But besides that, it was a dang good day. It was a lot of fun. I am so happy. So thank you all. So happy with where we're at. But we got to keep going. We got 3 more races. So no giving up. Got to keep pushing. Got to keep getting faster. And yeah, we'll see you next race. So see you guys.